Penseiro's been in Evanston for 20 years. I've been the owner and the chef for 10. Our direction that we're taking now, really what we're seeing in our customers is an amazing change in the amount of understanding that people have about food. 10 years ago when I got into this business, there was, people didn't really understand food. I don't think, as long as it tasted good, they didn't really worry too much about where it came from or why or how it got there. But nowadays, I find customers coming into the restaurant asking me for specific ingredients. Burrata cheese, which is this wonderful cheese similar to mozzarella from this small region of Italy. The kind of thing that I only experienced by going to Italy and because I'm kind of into food. Like I would search it out and I would read articles and I would find these things. And now I get people who come in and they're accountants or they're doctors, dentists, whatever, and they come in and they're like, "Can we have burrata?" It's, wow, how do you even know about this? I mean, what in your life brought you to this? But because of the internet and because of the Food Network and because of people like Julia Child, Martha Stewart, and people like that really food came to the forefront and people just understand it so much better. And I get people coming in asking me questions at the restaurant, whereas 10 years ago they would say, "What kind of oil do you use?" And I would say olive oil, and they would say, "Okay." And now they come in and they say, "Now what kind of olive oil do you use? Is it extra virgin? Is it pure? Is it Ligurian? Is it Tuscan? Is it Sicilian? What kind of olives did they use to make it?" And so people's knowledge and desire for knowledge has just grown exponentially. So it's really, really changed. So one of the things we've tried to do in the restaurant is we've tried to answer these questions for people, both in our wine list, having we're an Italian restaurant, we have an all-Italian list. We try not to be a Chianti and Pinot Grigio restaurant. We try to have different alternatives to people. There are winemakers in Italy who make wines, and there's one wine we get where there's 16 cases make it to Illinois. And we get 8 and another 8 go to Chicago. So we get those to sell to people. And people search us out and they say, "Oh, I read on the internet you had this wine." Where did you read that? I didn't even, and it's just amazing to me that what people find.
One of the things is, I didn't know where Penseiro was. You are located in the Margarita.
We're in the Margarita European Inn, and it's a bed and breakfast hotel. We're on 1566 Oak right here in Evanston. And Penseiro is the first floor. Has all the flags out front. And, we've been there for a long time. Really, the decor, the architecture of the restaurant really fits to what we're trying to do, trying to hold. At the same time, we try and offer a genuine Italian experience, but we do kind of, we offer it to Americans. So at the same time, we're trying to educate and we're trying to show different things. We're trying to give American people, a little glimpse of Italy.
And also you have cooking classes. That's what I'm interested in.
We do cooking classes, once a month, usually on a Thursday or a Friday, we do a cooking class. And, our cooking classes started out as a way to, just let people know that we were there and kind of draw people in. But it's amazing, the cooking classes. I get people coming in saying, would you do a cooking class on salt cod? Would you do a cooking class on, the different cuts of meat that are out there? And the questions they ask me really lead me to do a lot more research, which then leads me to learn a lot more about the food. And then, I have one woman who comes into my cooking classes. She comes all the time. She doesn't cook. She just comes because she likes to sit down and have a meal and a couple glasses of wine. But I taught her about ragu bolognese, which is one of the intrinsic, just fundamental Italian dishes that everybody thinks they know, but in Italy, it's ragu bolognese is very, very different than what you usually see in America. So she actually went out and bought a Cuisinart mixer with a grinder attachment just so she could make this dish. So she's a woman who doesn't cook, and one of the 5 dishes in her repertoire is a traditional, authentic ragu bolognese with its 12 and 14 ingredients and its 3-hour prep time. And I just find that. I find that amazing that she, rather than saying, I can make pork chops or, I can make roasted chicken or something that you would expect a beginner novice cook to make, she decided, man, I really like this. This is, if I'm going to cook something, this is what I want to do.
And now she's creating an amazing meal. And going from